Oh, I forgot to turn it.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah.
All right. Time for spoilers.
Time for spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
I think right off the bat, a pretty big spoiler. I don't know if they mention it up front or if they wait until later in the movie to see it, but the that where she took her trip with her school was in San Diego, where the first movie takes place, right?
Right.
So that if like right from the beginning they said that, then I think it would have been way obvious to the viewers.
Other than like they might have said she came back from San Diego, but I don't think they said like anything about her. Like it might have been obvious to the viewers if she came back just from San Diego, if they just knew San Diego. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we get right off the bat too, which was really confusing to us. We learn exactly who those people are who are helping her, right?
Right.
Like who was that guy? Was he a doctor? Was he a taxi driver? Was it her dad?
Right.
So it turns out, yes, it's her dad, even though he disappears for half the movie.
Yes.
It's her dad and her 19-year-old brother.
Entire movie except one more scene.
Yeah, and when he reappeared, we're like, is he a doctor?
Yeah, we didn't know who he was at that
He's
point.
come back to do the 1 week exam on her legs.
Yeah, so he goes for a business trip in Singapore, and and then her 19-year-old brother Koichi watches her, which we know. We saw that, and we figured that out. We figured out the salt test. We kind of figured out what was going on because in Japan, I think it's common like to use salt to fight ghosts. I don't know if that was part of it.
Salt to ward off spirits is in a lot of cultures, not just Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I wonder if that was part of it. Was he trying? Like, it didn't seem like he was trying to ward it off. He just
no,
wanted
it's like
something.
it was just
he
an
might have
experiment,
cinnamon
right?
who knows?
or sugar.
You know what? I don't think this is ghosts. I think I got it figured out. That sugar was actually cocaine. And she did it all.
They're just whacked.
Yeah. She got the shivers going, the itchy, the bugs,
Crawling all over my body.
But whatever the connotation was, we figured out what he was doing.
Thing is, with salt, like if you leave out, I know this is just completely digressing. If you were to leave out something else, there might be, Japan being humid and stuff. Like, you leave out sugar.
Oh, I see. It may melt.
It may melt, it may attract ants. Like, who knows, right? Like, salt is probably one of the cleanest things you can leave out.
What like a twist that would, like M. Night Shyamalan. Like, it was the ants! We got into her wheelchair and unlocked it, too. So she goes to bed. There's little stuff like her chair moving even though it's locked in place and all that kind of stuff. But the first, maybe the only scare in the whole movie, and not scare, but jump scare. Oh!
Damn.
That was extreme.
That was pretty cool. I didn't expect. They're still just like, what happened? Told you, fucking ghost. He's like, nah. That's glasses just do that sometimes.
Yes.
Was when they're having dinner and the glass breaks, right?
Yes.
The glass shatters out of nowhere. Like that might be the highlight of the whole movie.
I have to agree, actually. The glass, because it was done, like they pulled you in that whole scene. It's long. It's just them talking and they're arguing, I think. And then the arguing is basically as the argument crescendos, the glass shatters, right?
And I think you brought it up during the movie how like they frame the camera in such shitty ways that you can't know that glass is going to break just because it's in frame because they've done so many setups before where it's like, oh look, now this is in the frame.
The flower pot's in the frame, but it doesn't break.
It breaks.
Right.
Yeah. And the fishbowl?
Yeah, the fish.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you're onto something with this right here. I think we're about to see a fish out of water.
Dead fish?
Not yet.
So eventually, Haruka lets Koichi film her during the night.
Yeah, she agrees to it eventually after
the glass breaking, I think, is the kind of the catalyst where she's like, okay, something's crazy, let's find out.
Yeah.
Puddin' pops. But, so at that point is when, I guess, really the true paranormal activity in the classic sense that you're filming somebody while they're... That's kind of where it's like starts lining up with number one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, blanket.
Ghosts are always cold. They always want blankets. And that's when also then stuff starts to go so crazy that he sets up a camera in his room, which we talked about earlier, which is the two frames.
Yeah.
was interesting enough. Oh, and she has like her blankets pulled off of her, right?
Yeah, there's lots of
like lots of that stuff.
Lots of small things where it's
Yeah.
a door closes, like that sort of stuff, right? There's creaking sounds or yells.
The parallels to the first movie were like so on beat. Like it was almost like Force Awakens with like, there's, oh look, now she got up, she's sleepwalking, and now she's outside on the patio, and he has to go out and find her. But no, she's okay, and he puts her back to sleep.
Right, but how many different things can you do actually to show there's a ghost?
Yeah,
it's always that.
They made like 7 movies. Like there was a whole bunch of nights. They went through a lot of nights, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of nights. Also, like if we want to draw parallels to the first one, when they try to do a cleanse. Like they try to cleanse the spirit, right? Because doesn't that happen in the first one? They get an exorcist, but somebody shows up who, isn't that? Or they get somebody who's
they get someone to come in as a medium or whatever.
Yeah.
Which actually is one thing I liked about this movie is they really tried to fight the ghost a couple ways.
Right.
Like they had like three different times they tried to fight the ghost, and they do that in like Paranormal Activity 1, 2, but by 3 and maybe later, like they give up. Like the movies aren't about fighting the ghosts. The people have no chance. All of the movies are just let's watch this whoever it is, a family or person, just get worse and worse and worse off and never have a chance to fight back.
Shouldn't they get some purifying smoke?
They have tons of stuff like the seals they put on doors and shit.
Right?
Yeah. There should be tons. Anime has taught me there are hundreds of ways to keep ghosts from coming into your room. I don't know.
In Japan.
In Japan, yes, specifically. Actually, but that would be cool if that was like what makes this different. If like, but ghosts can't get past sugar. Everyone's like, oh, this must be an American ghost. That's how it tied back into the first movie.
It came over in her luggage.
Yeah. When you were visiting America last week, you didn't happen to stay in a place where crazy white people disappeared, were you? Yeah, that was our B&B. Airbnb. So the first big case of this is, what's his name? I think Koichi's friend comes over.
Jun Nagoshi.
And it's not really described anywhere if like he came over by chance with his girlfriends.
Or if he called them over.
Or if Koichi called them over. But these were those, like, guy and his 2 girls showed up.
The other thing, too, is, like, just from, I mean, obviously, because of the language barrier, we don't get it. We figured out, like, hey, they know each other. Like, but it wasn't entirely clear, like, hey, these are friends. It was almost like, hey, I heard, I kind of knew these people, and they know something about them which might be going on. So I called, like, it didn't seem that clear of a relationship that they were friends. But apparently they are good friends. So maybe it's... I kind of miss that personally.
But it's almost better if they're not good friends, because if that girl just happens to be a psychic, like that's weird.
Right.
Spirit medium, I don't know what you call them in Japan.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, maybe it's maybe he did call them and say, hey, I know you have a girl who's like a spirit medium. I got some crazy stuff going on. Why don't you come down and check it out? So the girl comes into the house, and actually I feel like this is a pretty good scene too, but I don't remember that well, where like the spirit medium girl, the one girl who's like attuned to things, she like goes around the house and she's like, like, oh, nothing here or whatever. But then I forget exactly how it plays out, but she freaks out in such I remember it being a pretty cool way.
Yes.
Of her just being like, hell no.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah. The whole way out now she's like, nope.
Well, she basically screams she screams and almost has a seizure essentially.
Yeah. It's a little more exorcist than it is.
She kind of runs away.
Yeah.
And still, that is not a good enough reason for them to leave.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of subplot there we don't know. Like, we can't leave the house because if we do...
Yeah. There's a part we were making fun of when we were watching it where he's on the phone. So like, hey, we got a ghost in the house.
We got a ghost situation.
Yeah. Can you send someone up? Are they sending someone? Like, yeah, Bill Murray's going to be here in a half hour. He's shooting Lost with Translation across the street. He'll be here. Take care of this ghost problem. She's like, I didn't want Bill Murray. I wanted one of the other ones.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah. Right. And that part apparently is him trying to get a hold of their dad because he was supposed to be back and he's not back yet.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so the dad's gone missing. They're staying in the house for some reason, maybe because they're kids and don't have a credit card. And other stuff's going on. Remember, like, the lights start flickering, the radio starts blaring, which was actually kind of cool, but it was so loud it was almost annoying.
Yes.
That's not even that scary. My alarm does that to me every morning.
When that happens, in a lot of movies they do that. The radio goes off and then the person starts running around looking for it. Well, where do you have a radio?
Yeah, exactly.
It's in the basement?
Maybe they go
to the
move the radio
basement.
too. Actually, that's one trope they couldn't really rely on. They never do in any of these Paranormal Activity movies. Well, maybe later ones, but like that's so common in a typical horror movie to have like going in the basement is like the big like no, they never want to, but they kind of have to at some point, and it's always freaky because it's dark. But I guess in Japan it's a little harder to pull off. You know, that house. Let's talk about that house, right?
Yes.
You remember how ridiculous the architecture of that house was?
Yes, there were so many little hallways and stairs.
It looked like MC Escher designed a 3-story split level.
Yeah, it was weird. You're right.
They're running through there, and I can't tell what room they're going into because everything is so weird.
Yeah, I didn't even get the deck, the patio that the girl was on.
Yeah.
Where was it comparing to the rest of the house?
Yeah, it feels more like one of those horror movies where like the house keeps changing.
Yeah.
So eventually, they get a Shinto priest or some kind of priest to come over, right?
Right. Not knowing that the spirit was an American one.
Oh yeah, so let's get to that. Let's just jump right to that. So they go to Google.
Of course.
They go to Google. Oh, that's the girl from the first one.
Oh, really?
I wonder if this whole thing was just like, did you hear about that girl who got pulled under her bed?
No. Well, I was in San Diego.
Yeah. And I heard a voice that's like, I'm coming home with you.
I don't get it. We put salt outside the luggage.
This is when they're like, American Ghost! Oh. How did the Americans beat it? Like, they didn't. And they get worse at fighting it in every movie. Oh, stupid Americans. We have hundreds of ways to fight ghosts. But those are Japanese ghosts. And they figure out, hey, in San Diego, we didn't know it was in San Diego, but we recognize that girl was the same one from the first movie, so they find out that what happened in the first movie.
Yes.
And I guess they assume, like, hey, because you were in San Diego, maybe this happens. And it's revealed in the text anyway, and I'm sure it would have been revealed on the movie if we understood Japanese, that actually the car accident that broke her legs killed Katie. Right. So at the end of the first movie, she disappears. Mm-hmm. But I guess the idea with this one is, she ran out onto the road and she got hit by a car.
When after she discovers it, she actually tells her brother to leave.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because we were saying the whole time, why are you still here? And she actually says to Koichi, escape without her so the demon doesn't attack them both.
Oh, because I guess they figure out at that point the house isn't haunted, but she is, and maybe they assume that
so
if she goes somewhere, it's going to chase her or follow her.
Probably it seems that way.
It wouldn't have been that difficult to actually throw one scene in between that they try to go somewhere and they say, okay, there's no point because I'm being
attacked here too, yeah.
Right.
What a dick ghost. He did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Just to let them feel like they're safe again.
Ooh, 3 nights. We thought that because they brought that priest, I don't know
so
we thought that because of that they feel that now you're safe, and a few nights pass by with
nothing happening. Yeah,
anything happening.
Right. So they bring in the priest.
Offering.
Yeah. There's the paper seals. Oh, he looks serious. I'll translate for you, sir. Ghost, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out, ghost. He's like, I don't know if he's supposed to be like... it's like the typical horror trope where they bring in like a celebrity priest. You know, the celebrity ghost fighter. Except, it makes it seem like it worked. Because the priest does that stuff. He does his little ceremony. And then... there is no sighting for a couple nights, which is, as a viewer, was a little annoying, but I guess it's good at building tension of watching every night pass by with nothing happening. But then he comes back with a vengeance, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I forget what he does, but he gets like, that ghost gets super strong at that point.
Yeah.
There's never been a clear indication in these movies of if the ghost, like there's always, in all the movies they talk about like fearing the ghost makes it stronger.
Okay.
But it turns out in other movies it's a demon anyway, so.
Right.
So it's hard to know if it's just the ghost starts off slow just to be a dick. You know what I mean? It's hard to know if the ghost
He's
is
trolling you, man.
Yeah.
He's a troll. Is trolling
or is
Yeah, and for those nights that basically nothing happened, was it just missing with them?
Yeah.
I think it worked.
I like to believe that. I kind of
that night.
So the priest, and he's like, oh, I'll go along with this. Yeah, sure, okay,
Yeah,
priest, I'm banished. Oh, I'm so banished. I'm not banished.
So I like that. I like that he's just messing around. The feeding off fears is an interesting idea, and it makes sense in that, hey, the more you pay attention to it, setting up cameras, setting up traps, like of course it's going to get stronger. But I like to think he's just kind of a dick too. So the ghost comes back. Then there's a really cool scene there where what's his name? She's like falls into a coma, right?
Yes.
Oh, right, with the
That's-
bite marks.
Yes.
Right.
And that's when you were starting to get really annoyed because they didn't take him to the hospital.
Yeah, call 911. Call 111. I don't know what it is, man.
They did. He let her stay unconscious, didn't bring her to the hospital for probably over a day. I don't know how long it was, but it felt like it was a long time.
All I know is like I'm not like a paramedic or anything, but I've done some basic first aid. As soon as somebody's unconscious,
That's a problem.
call 911. They didn't fall asleep, or they did fall asleep after a head injury.
Yeah.
Call 911. Like that's step number one.
So instead,
Anyways.
this guy didn't have any first aid training
None.
because he instead decided to like make a crucifix and put it in her hand.
Yeah.
Right, and that's when the ghost gets super pissed. They're looking up American Ghosts now. They're like, do you know anything about Christianity? He's like, I only saw Evangelion. I didn't get it. I love the crucifix is really funny to me because we were joking a lot while we were watching the movie. Like, it's an American ghost. You brought a ghost back from America, so of course your Shinto isn't going to work.
Right.
Your spirit medium isn't going to mess with a fucking American ghost. You need to bring bazookas. I don't know, like AKs. How do you take care of an American ghost? Not with the power of love, So it's real funny that he brought up the crucifix. And it was also really cool because for a second you're like, whoa, now he's using American techniques. Is he just pissed because of the cross?
I don't know. But it's there, it's doing stuff during the day,
Oh, wow.
which it didn't do before, right?
Yeah.
But even though you burn it, it's still a cross, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this will work. But the ghost doesn't have none of that.
Yeah.
So just pissed him off.
Yeah, so he lit it on fire?
Yeah.
He burned the crucifix.
The ghost did.
He broke the windows. He was doing all kinds of stuff. He just got pissed off.
Come
I
on.
don't remember what she was wearing.
He's like, so funny story. Remember that dude we killed and put in our closet last summer? Apparently he's been haunting us.
Who the hell is that? Oh, that's the doctor guy or whatever, isn't it?
The guy who came, the salesman dude?
Oh, jeez.
So now we're in the home stretch, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because now is when the brother finds the dead body in the closet.
Yeah.
Which turns out to
Which
be their
turns
dad.
out to be,
We didn't know at the time. We didn't know if it was the doctor or the same cab driver from the beginning. And then it does that whole like Blair Witch thing of he turns around and now she's possessed and she comes after him, right?
Right. Yeah, there it is. And this is where it started having again pieces that I felt like they were cut exactly from number one.
It's
when she stands beside the bed staring out, like it's.
Ghost even opened the door for her.
Oh, so she's gonna try to kill him.
While she
It's a
got killed.
ghost. It's not rude. It's not
Ladies first.
It's a ghost with manners. Come on. Oh, don't they do this in a bunch of other ones? Where the person just comes to the room and stands and then walks away?
I was kind of hoping she'd
like
just go like, "Whoa," and then run away.
Certain things like that where I saw it and I'm like,
Yeah.
this just feels like exactly the scene from number one.
Yeah. So the ending, or let's call it the false ending,
Right.
is exactly the same ending from the first movie, which is basically she comes into his room when he's sleeping, or she's just chasing. I can't remember. She uses her ghost powers to pick him up and throws him at the camera.
Right.
And then there's a pause of 5 seconds, and if you've seen the first movie, you would think, oh, that's the end, because that's how the first movie ended, and that would be a really bad ending. But instead,
And I thought that's where it was
yes.
ending.
Yeah. You know, the annoying thing is if the movie wasn't paced out so slowly,
Yes.
I would have really dug the ending that followed. But because like there was already like 3 fake endings,
Yes.
I start feeling like Lord of the Rings 3 at that point, right? Where it's like, can we just get it over with?
Yeah.
So he gets up for 5 minutes.
No, he got thrown through the door. I think that's from another one of them.
That is
isn't it?
exactly the same as the end of the first movie. The girl throws her boyfriend into the room like that and then leaves.
Oh, you're right. Totally.
It's exactly.
She even
the
comes
same.
up over like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. After like being on the ground for 10 seconds and you thinking he's dead, he gets up and he runs out of the house.
Yeah.
And he gets into a cab. And then the Haruka runs in front of the cab and the cab hits Haruka and seemingly kills her.
Right.
Right?
Nice.
Nice. That's how you take care of an American ghost.
What the?
So then we jump to the hospital morgue, where Suresh is like, what the hell is going on here? Who put a camera in the hospital?
I think it's security footage. Maybe.
It's security footage,
Okay.
yeah. And there's a body bag on the table, and the boy is presumably brought in to confirm the corpse of his sister.
Yeah, he's ID his
Yeah.
next of kin.
But when he unzips the bag, it's the taxi driver,
Yeah.
and she comes out from the corner and kills him, and that's the end of the movie. And there's text that we didn't understand it, but it's the same as Paranormal Activity text, where it's like, these people were never seen again.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. The dad is found dead.
That is
The
fun.
brother is found dead, and the sister remains at large or
Yes.
unknown.
So that was it.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Good job, Japan. You made a movie exactly like an American movie.
Hey, we do it all the time.
Yeah, we taught them. They taught us what
The
it feels
tables
like.
were turned, eh?
Him going to the morgue to find her body, but instead it's the taxi driver's
Yeah, it makes no
body.
sense. That makes no sense.
How did that happen?
Yeah, she would have to. The only way it could work if we want to
Did it.
Switch the body.
We just blame it on the
if we want to
DUI.
if we want to really do the math, it would have to be both of them would have to die in the crash. There
Yes.
would have been 2 gurneys with bodies in the morgue.
Right.
She would have woken up, moved her gurney out of the way of the camera so as to not distract her brother, I guess. And then stalked him from the corner, which is a lot of work for a demon or ghost. So that's about it. The only thing I'll say is the original Paranormal Activity 2 and 3 are both prequels to the first movie.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, Paranormal Activity 2 shows Katie's sister and how the ghost originally was attached to Katie's sister. But then
Okay.
Katie's sister does a ceremony to
Expunge it.
she basically I think the husband does it, a ceremony to basically say, don't attack the sister, go attack this sister instead.
Oh, that's a dick
So that's
move.
a cool. That might be my favorite one because it is. And then it jumps ahead to after the first movie where Katie comes back and kidnaps the sister's baby.
Oh my god.
Which ties into 4, which is bad, so we'll ignore that. And then 3 goes back even further to like when both girls were when they were sisters, like young
Younger?
sisters,
Yes.
and their grandmother was in a cult, and it digs into that stuff. That's the most.
Oh,
That
so
one
it's
is-
like the
yeah.
origin story.
That one is considered the best by a lot of people. I don't like it because it's very much like a little kid trope horror movie. You know, what
Are
I mean?
they all still filmed as fan footage?
So that's
found
the,
footage,
yes,
not fan.
all of
found
them are,
footage.
but that's what makes that one really interesting. Is they're all filmed on like mini DV tapes or whatever they used back then.
Okay.
The Super 8 tapes.
Yes.
They're all filmed on those Super 8 tapes, and the dad keeps trying to figure out I guess he shoots wedding videos for a living, so he keeps trying to find cool ways. Like he sets up his thing on a fan, the camera on a fan, so it rotates back and forth. So it's like the only complaint I have about that movie, which most people would probably not complain, like be upset about it for, is that the quality is too nice. Like with it, I would love a lot more graininess in the footage
Yeah.
and like some of those scan lines or whatever they're called when the
Yeah.
whole tracking thing messes up.
Yeah, totally.
But no, it's
Okay, so you don't like it or you like it?
2 is my favorite. 3 is okay. 4 is
No, like-
terrible.
the good quality part.
No, I kind of wish it was shittier. If it's supposed to be
Okay,
a footage shot in the 80s, it should be shittier.
For you, it's easy. You just record that on VHS and run it like a magnet.
Take your camera and start playing it on your TV. Put your camera in front of the TV. Record it. Post it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Record that.
Just downscale it to whatever it is, 360 by 240. Anyway. So yeah, that's Paranormal Activity, Tokyo Night.
Tokyo.
Thanks for checking us out. I'm Mike.
I'm Cam.
Yeah. We'll have another awesome movie for you next time. See ya.
Is there fish? Is it
Oh,
fishing?
fish!
Yeah.
Oh, right, the fish.
And now he's pissed.
Yeah, he
You
sounds
killed
sad.
my fish!
I was training it to fight other fish down at the gym.